Hey guys, if you're fishing those thick mats, that really heavy brush, or that jungle cover this summer, there's one rig you're going to want to learn. That is going to be this guy right here, the punch rig. It's the rig that I pull out and fish in places most anglers are unwilling to go or simply don't know how to fish. So I'm going to walk you through step by step how to set this up and how to fish it. You're going to need a variety of things in order to set up the punch rig. You are going to need a punching weight, a bullet weight, usually 3/4 ounce or up to 2 ounces. This right here is 1 ounce tungsten, and it has a unique design on it because, optional, you can put a skirt on your punch rig, which I like to do. And the great thing about these skirts, they pop on that little section right there really easily. And so you can choose to do it with or without. So you need those. You're going to need some type of bobber stop to peg it, or a punch stop, sometimes what they call it. A lot of times when you go to the store and look for a peg, they'll be packaged as bobber stops. And this is kind of what they look like. I'll show you that. You're also going to need a heavy duty straight shank flipping hook, either a 3/0 or a 5/0 hook. That is the flipping hook we're going to be using. You're going to need some type of compact soft plastic, like a crawl or creature baits. And so I actually put, I let a lot of my creature baits sit in bait fuel, and it just marinates in there. I have missile D-bombs I'm not going to be using. I like using these guys, and to be honest with you, I forget what they're called. But nonetheless, I try to look that up and put the links in the description below. And this is going to be my punch rig bait. And then you're going to need some type of heavy braid. And so this is my live fishing line kind of storage, and so I'm going to be using Power Pro 65-pound test braid in order to set up my punch rig. I love what Live Fishing's putting out there. So what you want to do first is you want to slide your bobber stop onto your line. And so I've never done this before. Essentially, if you can see this little bobber stop and little wire loop, and you're going to take your braid, you're going to put it in that wire loop, and you're going to run your bobber stop up that line, and then it is on there. And so what I like to do is I actually like to put 2 of them on there. It kind of locks in the bobber so it doesn't slide. And so completely up to you. You may or may not need to do that. So I have 2 bobber stops on, just like that. Now you got to understand, most anglers don't realize the bobber stops, sometimes called punch stops, come in different sizes, right? So to match your line diameter, which is especially important with braided line, that varies more with thickness than mono or fluoro. And so too small, of course, it won't slide onto heavy braid, like 65-pound. If you get too large, it won't grip tight and your weight's going to slide. You don't want that. So depending on your braid strength, it will determine your bobber stop size. So 20 to 30 pound, you want a medium bobber stop. 40 to 50 pound line, a large bobber stop, and 65-pound plus, an XL or heavy duty stop. So next you want to thread your punch weight on. So the flat side down, so it punches clean through cover. So I want this to punch through the cover. So that's going to go in first. Run that through, and it's going to get stopped on that bobber stop. If you want to, you can put your skirt on. And so with this particular, like I said, tungsten, you can put that on first and kind of run those all on together. And so I'm going to do that because I like having a skirt tied on to my punch rig. Boom, there you go. Now you're going to take your flipping hook right here. So you can use your knot of choice. Many recommend the Snell knot depending on the type of hook and your hook construction. So the Snell knot is not going to work well on this particular hook because of the hook construction. It's got that bait keeper on there. So I am going to instead just do a Palomar knot. So if you've never done the Palomar knot before, I'm going to share that real quick. So you run it through one end, run it back through. Now what we're going to do is take that loop and just do an overhand knot, just like that. You get the overhand knot, then take this loop right here that you created the overhand knot, run your hook through it, just like so. Pull it up and just slide that tight. And that is a super strong knot for braid. So I'm going to cut the tag end off. There we go. And boom. Now run this all the way down, almost there. And so this is what it looks like right now. And finally, you want to thread your soft plastic on something that's compact, slides through the grass easy. And so this is why I like this one. And so what we can do is just kind of run it like that. Run it up there, past the bait keeper, turn it around. And the idea here is to make sure that when this is all set up, that 1, your hook is hidden, and 2, this kind of runs straight. So we're going to kind of see if we can get that done the first time. Boom. There you have it. You want that kind of sitting nice and flat. So when this goes down, it'll pull this through. You're good to go. And when you set that hook, this will come through that plastic and you will pin that bass. Let me walk you through the rod and reel setup. And so I am going to have a rod with a length between 7.4 and 7.6. It's going to be a heavy power, fast action rod. I need something with a lot of backbone to pin that bass, set the hook, and get it up and out of cover before it digs in and dives in somewhere. And when it comes to the gear ratio on my bait caster, I'm going to want this to be a 7-to-1, more likely an 8-1-to-1, so I can pick up a lot of line really fast. And it's really easy to fish. You basically just kind of move in on your spot, nice and quiet, kind of flip this into the holes in your lily pads, flip it through the holes in the mats, flip it through the mats, get down below there where a lot of these summer bass are going to be hiding, especially midday in the sun. And so they're going to get to that cover, they're going to get under that, they're ambush predators, they're going to be down there. And so you basically flip this in, jig, 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 let it fall, jig, 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 wait for the bite. If they don't hit, you just pull it out of the hole and flip it to another hole. And just keep doing that, and you will get bit, definitely in the summer, with the punch rig. And so it's one of those baits that not a lot of other baits can get down there underneath those lily pads in there without getting caught up a whole lot. And so this is going to give it the weight, give it that weedless presentation in order to do so. You're going to fall in love with this after your first dopamine hit on that first hook set. So hopefully that was helpful in getting you set up on the punch rig. If you're looking for some other lures that perform very well during the summer, I got a video for you right here, non-top waters, and then I got a few top water baits for you right there. Thanks for watching. See you.